Hey guys, how you doing today? Mark here, on my way into work. And again, yes, I left plenty early. I think I've got over an hour, probably about an hour and a half to get to work. But I wanted to bring you along, just talk about a few things that I've done with Mercy and how the break-in period is going. So one of the main things about the break-in period is that you really don't want to take it easy, okay? You need to give the bike a full range of use. You know, you don't putt along and shift at, 2,500 RPMs like most people do. You don't want to just stay in town and do your little 25, 30 mile an hour speed limits. You want to really stretch the legs on the bike. So yes, I have had Mercy up on the interstates, maintaining a 3,000 RPM in sixth gear, doing 75, 80 mile an hour. And I've done some high RPM takeoffs. I went out into the country and just about every stop sign that I was taking off from, I was getting the RPMs up to around 4,000. I mean, I don't do it every time, just every so often. And so far, yeah, she's been handling it really well. I'm very happy with her. I did add the USB power adapter. I took out the auxiliary power, the cigarette lighter type adapter, plug down there. And I actually have one that has built-in USB-C and a USB port, so I can use two USB cords, or USB-C cords, and a standard USB-A cord. The other thing I did, if you look down, you can see that I've got some foot pegs on my highway bars too. I found a pretty decent deal on some used pegs on eBay. Yes, they're used, but they're still in really good shape. A few scratches and stuff on them, but I could care less about that. But I kind of set my foot pegs up. I mean, I see these type of pegs on lots of different bikes, but to me, they don't set them up right. See, I've got the peg in a way to where if I want to put my foot out like that, I can. And then the peg kind of sits right where the arch of my foot is. Right in front of the heel of the shoe or the boot or whatever I might have on at the time. But I've also got the peg. It's not level like this. It's kind of pointed downwards a little bit, so I can stick my foot out there, and I've got a nice flat platform for my heel and the Achilles and stuff like that. So I can stick my foot up on it like that, and it's really nice and comfortable because it's got a nice wide pad. So yeah, those are just a couple of things that I've added. I also have some cable holders for the USB to my phone and stuff, just to kind of help keep it decently in order. You know, it's not like I got a bunch of dangly lines going everywhere. Oh, the other thing that I added though, as you can tell, or maybe you can't tell, I don't know, you're kind of in a slightly different position because I changed out the mount. Before I had you on this mount right here, which I don't know if you can actually see it or not, but now the mount that I have is actually screwed into the bottom of the mirror. So off that little extender I got down here, I have a 1-inch ball just screwed in right there, which of course, again, you can't see it. I am doing about 35 miles an hour in third gear, and this actually feels pretty decent. RPMs are around 2200. And normally when I'm doing 35, I like to bump it up into fourth gear with Angel anyway. But this bike seems to be kind of comfortable doing it this way. I got some life updates for you in that this is the last week for my supervisor to be in my department. If you remember with my dog walk video a few weeks ago, I told you that my supervisor was stepping down as a supervisor and she was actually leaving my department. Well, they put up notice saying that, you know, supervisors wanted for my department and all this other stuff, and nobody seems interested in it. So I have no idea how long I'm gonna have to work basically by myself. I get to find out later today when I go in if another co-worker is gonna get fired for absenteeism. She's really been playing with her points and trying to get like medical leaves and stuff like that. I don't know if it's gonna hold up or not. I mean, basically, what has it been like in the last I think month and a half? I think she's only worked like 3 days. And it kind of sounded to me last time I talked to my supervisor is that it's kind of like a medical company that we use to help the employees to get, you know, time off, written medical time off, but it's got to be a viable reason. You know, you don't just call them up and say, well, I had this issue and I've been gone for a month, you know, can you cover me? You know, they got to see the doctor reports and all this other stuff. And by the way it sounds, she's always been telling us that it's the same thing. You know, she's always out for the same issues and stuff like that. But then all of a sudden, I think in one of the last conversations she had with our supervisor, she has said that there's been multiple things going on now. You know, before it was this and now it's this, you know, and it's like, well, you've never told us that before. You know, it's always been the same thing, and that's what the medical company says. It's always the same thing. So yeah, I don't know if she's actually going to be there when I get into work today. So it could be that as of the end of the week, I could be the only full-time employee in my department with one almost completely worthless part-timer. He moves so slow. You know, he's a younger kid. He doesn't want to work, okay? That's normal. Every generation has the same thing about kids working. Kids don't want to work. And then the other part-timer that I have is very part-time. She works 1 day a week for about 5 hours. That is it. So basically what I'm getting at is by the end of the week, I might be the only employee worth his salt that's going to keep that department operating. I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging or anything like that, but that's just the way it is. I go in there and I try to do the best I can, where some of my other co-workers, you know, they're there just for the paycheck and they really don't care how much work they get done. All right, this is Creek Road. I came all the way into Chaupier, and I'm going to see about taking Creek Road all the way to Delavan, Highway 14. I suppose technically it's I'll be going just around Derry and not Delavan. Oh man, this bike just throttles up and goes so quickly. I really gotta watch that. Some other stuff that's been happening within the household is that I came down with a pretty bad head cold, chest cold. It was not COVID. I'm thinking it was actually RSV. It's a respiratory virus, very contagious, and it can last a long time. And because I'm coughing still, I'm still going through it. Although I'm feeling much better now than I did before. But my wife ended up catching it. And she was sick, running temperatures, not anything major, you know, she's never, you know, hit like 104-degree temp or anything like that. You know, her temps were pretty much low grade, you know, around 99 or so. But now our oldest daughter has caught it, and I don't know if she's been calling into work. I hope so, because she does dialysis, and you really don't want to give this stuff to somebody that has, you know, immune deficiency issues. But she wasn't at the house this morning, so I don't know if she went to work or if she went to her boyfriend's house or what. I just don't know. Victoria, however, has not gotten it. My youngest daughter. She's still pretty healthy, sitting at home. One more thing about the motorcycle, though. I did learn how to set the clock. But I have it set for standard time. I don't have it set for the daylight savings, because most of my riding happens, you know, in the summer, you know, after the clocks change in the spring and stuff like that. But I've been able to get out quite a bit right now in this late winter period. And so yeah, right now my clock is actually reading an hour fast, and that actually threw me for a loop the other day. I was out riding around and it's like, oh man, I didn't realize it gotten that late. I better head home. And as I was doing that, just like a couple of blocks before I got home, I was like, wait a minute, my clock's actually an hour fast. So instead of being like 4:30, it was actually 3:30. Oh well, I still had a nice ride. One thing I've also learned about this bike is that it actually has 2 overdrives. Now what an overdrive is for every time the pistons actually do a full rotation, the transmission does more than 1 full rotation. Okay, that's an overdrive. You know, it could be a 1.2 or something like that. So both your 5th and 6th gears are overdrives, which means when you're out cruising in the country roads, to keep it in 5th gear is good enough. You really don't need anything else. You know, I'm sitting here cruising 55 miles an hour. I'm at about 2,600 RPMs. It does really quite well. And then when I'm out on the interstate doing 65, 75, 80 miles an hour, then you put it into 6th gear, you know, and then the RPMs will come down a little bit, you know, for that higher gear, but of course you're going faster. So you don't really want to be... Basically what I'm getting at is when you're out on these country roads doing 25, or not 25, but 55, you really don't want to be putting it into your 6th gear. Otherwise it just bogs down way too much. Well, somebody's got to put up a new mailbox. Probably got wiped out by a plow or something. I really do like this road. It's not super twisty and curvy, but there are a few. And it's got some nice hills. So yeah, it's just an all-around really nice road. A little broken up, not heavily traveled by a lot of cars. Just a really good road. Kind of scenic. And it comes up to one of my favorite parks in the area, which is the Culver Park. Carvers Rock, I think is what it's called. At least that's what I know it as. Carvers Rock. Oh, did a lot of yard cleanup right there. Tell you, I'd like to have this blue house right there, just because they own this little stuff down here by the creek. So yeah, this wooded area right off to my left here, that's Carvers Rock, and there are some nice trails that run through there. I think last time I was there, a lady was asking if I'd seen the kingfisher bird. I wonder what he's doing. Interesting. And it's like, no, I haven't. I don't even know what, I don't know what birds look like, you know. And she was explaining it to me, and sure enough, I ended up seeing it not too long afterwards. It just kind of goes up and down the creek bed. I am disappointed in this bridge. This bridge up here used to be wood, and then they tore out the wood and replaced it with a concrete bridge. It was sad. this stuff out here to the side is going to be a solar farm. I tell you, they've been putting in a lot of solar farms around this area. That's like the 4th or 5th solar farm that I know of, and they are big. You know, they just take up huge crop areas of old farmland. Maybe someday we ought to drive over to Rare Road. That's just outside of Delavan on the south side of town. Because Wisconsin has a mythical beast that is said to roam Rare Road at night. And it's supposed to be kind of like a werewolf. That's what people say it is. You know, but the thing is, it's not a werewolf in the sense that it walks on 2 legs. It's a werewolf that's basically like a super giant, demonic looking wolf. Now the thing is that wolves are not very plentiful down here. And last I knew, there was a place that actually nursed wolves back to health not far from Brer Road. Now, according to the stories, none of the wolves have escaped that that little compound, you know, the treatment facility for wolves. According to them, they've never lost a wolf. So, are they lying? Or is there really some weird animal out there? Maybe they bred with one of the wolves that was in captivity over there? Don't know. Okay, so all this traffic that you're seeing up there, that is Highway 14, and that is where I'm going to end this video. There's actually a small country park that is right here, and we're going to pull into there. I'll end the video, and I think then I'm just going to put the cameras away, put them in my bags. McCarthy School Park, because yes, there used to be a school right here, but as you can see, the school is long gone. All right, get you backed up here. All right, well, this is Mark saying thank you so much for watching. I hope you didn't mind my ramblings too much. Just a few things I've done to the bike. Not too much, you know, the power adapter change out, putting little things inside the upper fairing to just kind of keep the cords tidy, you know, just stuff like that. The new camera mount and the foot pegs and stuff like that. So not a whole lot, but a few little things. So this is Mark saying thank you so much for watching. Always believe you can go out for your ride. Always believe you can go out for that adventure. Always believe you can cook and eat that new dish. It's gonna be fabulous. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.